Greetings, my empire. Drezu here back doing another ESO tier list, man. We doing another tier list on about ESO, man. Last time we did a tier list, we did a tier list on the classes. You know, what I felt like. Actually, we did a prediction tier list. You know what I mean? A prediction tier list. You know, about the classes and where I feel like they're gonna be at. In the Flames of Oblivion patch. This new with the new changes, the new CP changes, and all of that. I did a prediction, a class prediction tier list. So basically, I just predicted where they're gonna stand, and when everybody gets acquainted with this new meta. But this time we're doing a class tier list, and this is not a prediction tier list. This is what I'm seeing, and this is what I believe where the classes are at. Um, this new patch, man. As you may or may not know, there's been a lot of there was some class buffs, some class nerfs, and some of them just stayed the same. So what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna make a class tier. Let's put the classes where I feel like which classes do the best, which classes need improving. Just overall just a tier list of the classes, man. But before we get into this tier list, man, you already know I want to ask you to hit the like button, subscribe, join the empire. It helps me out, helps the channel out, helps the channel grow. Now without further ado, it might be another further ado because let me explain the tiers before I get into it, man. So if you haven't seen my last video, S tier means overperforming. Um, that means the race is overperforming. Um, A means that the race is a solid race. It's okay. It's really good, but it's not overperforming. But it's good. It's a solid race. It's a solid race pick. B means okay. It's an okay race. It has its ups and downs in certain situations. It's not. It's good in certain situations. It's bad in certain situations. You can pick the race, but yeah, I mean, it's okay. It has its ups and downs. And C is that the race is underperforming. It's down bad. Now that we got that out the way, without further ado, let's get into the tier list, man. So first we got Bossamer. This is basically Wood Elf. Wood Elf. Um, with this new patch, Wood Elf actually, to me, um, got a buff. You know what I mean? I feel like Wood Elf got a buff, man. Oh, and let me tell y'all before we get, I know I keep holding y'all up, but this is my opinion. You feel me? Just remember that this is how I feel. I feel like what my opinion is going to be really accurate. You feel me? And I feel like a lot of people is going to agree with me. But at the end of the day, it's my opinion. It's not set in stone. Let me know in the comments if y'all disagree with something. You feel me? But yeah, what if actually got a buff to me? They get pen naturally now. Like you don't have to do anything to get the pen. You automatically have the pen. Um, yeah, so they get flat penetrations in their passives, and now what's it called? Instead of them having to roll dodge to get the movement speed bonus, they just get a 5% flat movement speed bonus, which makes more sense, and it's honestly a buff. So now you don't have to roll dodge to get penetration and movement speed. They just give it to you flat, which is really good. You know what I mean? I was scared for my Wood Elf Necromancer that I have right now because this new everything new. Um, Wood Elves, and heavy armor when you roll dodge it costs way more. And I'm like, oh, I mean, how am I gonna take advantage of this Wood Elf passive? Because my Wood Elf is in heavy armor. I have a stamina necro Wood Elf, and it's in heavy armor. I'm like, wow, I can't. I guess I'm not gonna be able to, utilize the Wood Elf passives anymore unless I switch to medium. But I like that they did that. Yeah, I mean, they was considerate to people who, you know, had a Wood Elf character in heavy armor. So I appreciate that. You feel me? Good job, Zenimax. Good job. So um, as a class, A, good now. Pretty good. Wood Elf is gonna be a pretty good uh, pick this this meta. You know what I mean? It's going to be a really good pick. Uh, just for the natural penetrations, the raw stats, the raw stamina sustain. What else get a lot of stamina and stamina recovery, man? It's crazy. So yeah, what else is going to be a solid pick? Breton. Um, I don't think anything happened to Breton. This patch. Let's check. Actually, you feel me? I don't think anything happened to them though. I feel like they're the same. Actually, I think they got a slight buff. I think Breton got a slight buff um to their passives. I feel like they got a slight buff, bro. Nothing too crazy, but I feel like they received a slight buff. Um, but I'm looking at it right now, Breton. If it just looks the same to me. If they did a slight buff, it's something I can't notice. I don't notice right now. Um, so I think they would decrease the reduced cost. So I think it used to be 8% reduced cost, but now I think it's 7%. Uh, don't quote me on that. I'm just going from that from memory. So, but Brighton's still gonna be a solid pick. I'm gonna put it. Oh no, it's not overperforming, but I'm gonna put it in. I'm gonna put it in A. It's gonna be a solid pick if you want to sustain Magica. Uh, you can make a Breton. You can make a lot of bro. You could make a Breton Nightblade. You could make a Breton Sword. You could make a Breton anything, bro. Breton's gonna be a solid pick. For your Magica classes. Now we got Outmer, which is basically high elf. Um, Now high elf, I'm putting that as when you look at the high elf passives, it's not hard to see that they're really good, especially on a sword. First of all, you get resources for just doing class abilities. Second, they give you being a high elf gives you raw spell damage, which is good in a class. A class that gives you raw spell damage is raw damage to what type of damage you is just really good to me. Any class that just gives like raw weapon or spell damage is already just like a good class, just off rip from giving you that. But yeah, I feel like they're really good. You get Magicka sustain, you get Max Magicka, and you also get a raw spell damage. So good pick for any magical class that uses a lot of class abilities, and that's basically every magical class. So you could be a high elf anything. You know what I'm saying? So putting high elf as Argonian. Now Argonian, I'm gonna put at I'm gonna put Argonian in A. I'm gonna put Argonian in A. It would have been B for last patch, Markov. But now in Flames of Oblivion, now since Argonians have, they got buffed, they got stamina in their passives now, which was really needed. You know what I mean? Because a lot of Argonians like to go Templar, but being an Argonian Templar, you really have a problem with stamina. Blocking, being able to roll dodge, all that, this and that, and the third. Uh, but now with that extra stamina, I mean, we could sustain our blocks better. We can afford to break free. I remember back then when I used to play with my Argonian Templar, man, I really had to budget my break frees. Like even though I had stuff into CP and all of that, just to reduce the cost of break free. I just had to let my character sit there, bro, and recover from the stun because I'm like if I break free from this, I'm not gonna have enough stamina to do what I want to do. Even though Argonians get potion effect. When they get potions, they recover all resources. But even with that, my stamina will run out. But I really like that they get stamina now. Argonians is the best potion users in the game. They benefit from potions the most. Uh, Simply from the fact that, like I said, they get all resources from potions and their passives, and they also get increased healing. And now the a debuff that I feel like Argonians got is clearly um they're not disease immune no more. Same thing with Wood Elf. Same thing with Wood Elf. Wood Elf is no longer poison immune, and Argonian is no longer disease immune, which is kind of a nerf, kind of sad, but you know what I mean. What can you do? You know what I mean. So I'm gonna put them. I'm put a Argonian in A. Um, yeah, I'm gonna put them in A. Dunmer. I'm putting Dunmer in that S. Uh, Now, Dunmer, the reason I am putting Dunmer at S is basically because it is it's not the best for any class. It's a jack of all trades, but a master at none. You can run Dark Elf. Dunmer is basically dark, but you can run Dark Elf for any class. You can run it for anything. There's no class in the game, I believe, that you can't run Dark Elf. You can run a Dark Elf, Magicka or Stamina. Yeah, I mean, you can run it for any resource. You can run a Dark Elf, Magicka, Dragonite, or Stamina Dragonite. You feel me? Dunmer is good for everything. It's a jack of all trades. But I wouldn't say Dunmer or Dark Elf is the best for any class. I wouldn't say that. It's the best for any class, but what I'm saying is it can rock any class. So that's why I'm putting it at S, just cause how versatile it is. That's basically it. Um, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I'm gonna put it at S, so just cause how versatile it is. How good of a you can do anything with it. You know what I mean? Um, Next class we have Imperial. Put Imperial Put Imperial in B. Um, the Imperial race is okay, good for tanking. I actually believe they got a little bit of a buff, if I'm not mistaken. Look at it right now. I got the list right here, right next to me, but I feel like they got a little bit of a buff if I was reading things correctly. Maybe I was, maybe I wasn't. Let's see. Um, you gotta make sure you go to the right thing, man. I believe they got yeah, I believe they got a buff. Now, they get a reduced cost to all your abilities by 60%. I don't believe they used to have that. I used to think they used to have where when you damage somebody or when you take damage, you receive magicka, stamina, and health. Um, Solid class, but looking at the passives, it doesn't give that much. Um, 2,000 max health, you get 2,000 stamina, which is okay. It's not the best, but it's okay. Um, you just get those alone with no more added bonuses. Then the reduced cost of all the abilities is really good. Um, it's for your ultimate abilities as well, which is, I mean, cool. But at the same time, I just feel like they don't get enough. You know what I mean? I don't feel like they get enough, to be um put higher up on the list. They just don't get enough. You just get flat stats. You get this, you get this, you get this. That's it. Yeah, I mean, like there's no extra to it. So yeah, I'm gonna put them at B. I just feel like they get less than other races. Khajiit, Khajiit. Um, I'm gonna put Khajiit in A. Hmm. I'm gonna put Khajiit in A. Uh, and the reason I'm gonna put Khajiit in A, especially now with no proc Cyrodiil and stuff like that, crit. Um, Khajiit is the best class for crits, crit healing, um, and does more critical damage. Um, they get a lot. They get a bit of every resource. You know what I mean? They're like well rounded in every resource. Um, but yeah, I'm just gonna put them at A. They get it. Just I'm gonna put them at A just for one thing, and that's the crit. They get a lot more crit than they're the best crit class, and they get crit healing, and they get every resource, man. So especially if you playing like you playing a Khajiit Magicka character, like your primary stat is Magicka. Even having stamina good is good on the Magicka character because you know what I mean roll dodging still takes Magicka even though you're a Magicka character and blocking and stuff like that. So I feel like Khajiit is really valid. You know what I mean? Just build like a good crit build. You could run sets like you know sets that benefit from crits. I'm trying to think of this one set. Um, I forget what it's called, but I think it's like every time you crit, you bleed. You apply a bleed to somebody. It's crazy, man. So I'm gonna put Khajiit at A. I'm kind of I don't know. It's debated B, but I'm putting it at A. Nord, put a Nord at A. Uh, if you would have asked me last patch, I would have probably put them at S, maybe, or maybe they would have stayed at A. I don't know. But Nord right now, Nord definitely did get a nerf. They did get a hit to their passive resistances, which is kind of, I mean, bad. But I still feel like they're a solid pick. Either way, uh, they do have one of the most useless resistance like Pacific resistances, and that's to frost. Um, I just feel like the only people that's gonna be really bad for is wardens and mag wardens at that. Not even the stamina ones, but what I mean that's not going for them. That frost resistance is not doing anything for them. But uh, even though they got nerf resistances, the resistances are still good. um it still helps out in certain classes, especially if you're on like Nords. I think Nords is the best class to wear medium armor. You know what I mean? Because you don't get you could wear medium armor and you could get some of the resistances that you lose from not wearing medium armor and just in your passive. So I'm putting Nord at A. You know what I mean? Still solid pick. Could run it on DK. You could run it on um so good stamina classes, what I mean, stamina ward and stuff like that. So yeah, put in A. Orc. Putting Orc at S. Putting Orc at S because one, they get they get a weapon damage in their passives. They get a lot of weapon damage. They like the same like the high elf, you know what I mean? They get a lot of weapon damage in their passives. Two, they get a speed bonus, which is really helpful, man. Because you as you may not know or may not know, when you wear heavy armor, you get movement speed, you know, restrictions. That's one of the penalties of wearing heavy armor. You get reduced movement speed, and the orc passives kind of make up for that reduced movement speed you know, with their passive. You know what I mean? And they get max stamina and they get max health, I believe. And um, yeah, I just feel like Orc is on top right now. Or for stamina classes, I feel like Orc is best for any stamina race. To be honest, any stamina race is good running Orc. Orc is good for running any stamina race. I can't think of a stamina race that Orc would be bad at. None, actually, none. Orc is an S. I feel like I'm missing something about Orc. I think I want to check it right now. Um, but I feel like Orcs get something too, like when they do damage with weapon ability, they get health or something. Uh, when you deal damage, you heal for yeah. When Orcs do deal damage, they get 2,125 health, and they get 1,000 max health on top of that. Yeah. Uh, oh, and they get weapon and spell damage. Orc might be. You could probably run Orc and Magical as well. Yeah, I mean, I don't see them being the best for the Magical class. They're not the best for the Magical class, but you could run Orc Magical character too, which is great. Yeah, Orc. That kind of wants me. That kind of wants me to put Dumber a little bit down. Yeah, I'm putting Dumber down. Um, I didn't know. I didn't know that Orc got spell and weapon. I thought it was just weapon damage, or maybe they just added that. But I'm definitely putting Orc. I mean Dumber and A now, because Orc just kind of took Dumber's place. Um, and lastly, we got Red Guard, which I'm putting in B. Uh, Red Guard is only good. I don't know. I feel like Red Guard is one of the least. Like if you're going for like a stamina race, I feel like Red Guard is the it should be your last pick. You know what I mean? Like the lowest pick for a stamina race. Let's look at it here. Let's look at some of the Red Guard passives. Um, they just don't get enough. You know, they get reduced. They get reduced costs for your weapon abilities, and you when you deal damage, you get stamina. This is a good stamina sustain race. You know, to sustain stamina. But nothing else. You know what I mean? It's to a point where it's like, okay, I got all this stamina, but this doesn't give you anything else. It doesn't give you weapon damage. It does give you reduced effectiveness on snares applied by 15%, but I don't know. I just feel like that doesn't really do anything. Maybe it does. Maybe I'm tripping, but I don't know. I feel like it, there's better stamina. They're just better. You know what I mean? They're just better stamina classes. You know what I mean? There's better. Like if I was making a kid, like the reason I have a red guard is just for diversity. Um, if you don't notice a trend in all of my builds, all of them are a different race. I've never picked the same race on a character just for the simple fact of I think it's whack. You know what I mean? If you're making a new character, make him a different person. You know what I mean? Why would I make two of the same race? But um, that's the reason I have a red guard. If I didn't have that stupid rule where I don't make two races. If I didn't have that rule, that red guard would probably it's a stamp sword. So that red guard would probably be a orc or a orc. It could have been a dark elf or it could have been a nord. I would have rather picked any of those than a red guard. But red guard's still a decent though. I'm not trying to doodle on red guard. Red guard's still decent. You got me if you're looking for raw stamina sustain. But I feel like the things it gets is just a little bit less than the other classes. So I'm gonna put it B, has its ups and downs. And that's pretty much the tier list, man. That's pretty much the race tier list I have. This I feel like is an accurate race tier list. There's nothing that's gonna underperform. The closest thing to underperform you is probably gonna be Imperial, to be honest. That's the closest thing to that might underperform and Cyrodiil or PvP in general, but I don't feel like Imperial's gonna underperform. Feel like they're gonna have their ups and downs. But that's pretty much the tier list, man. Hope y'all enjoyed. If y'all did, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, join the empire. It helps me out, helps the channel out, helps the channel grow. And that's pretty much it. Drizzle Empire out. I'ma see ya.